You're on thin ice, lol. That's what she texted me, 7 laughing emojis after it. It was supposed to be a joke, she said later. But I remember staring at that message in the middle of my lunch break, my sandwich halfway to my mouth, and feeling something in my chest twist. Because something about the way she said it, like she was trying too hard to make it sound harmless, felt off. You know that gut feeling when something inside you whispers that the person you love isn't being honest anymore? That's what hit me right then. And for the first time in our 7-year marriage, I didn't laugh back. Mara had always been quick with sarcasm, playful in a way that used to make me feel alive. We used to text each other nonstop during work. Memes, stupid inside jokes, can't wait to see you tonight type messages. But lately her tone had shifted. The jokes were still there, but they carried an edge, like they were deflecting something. I'd ask how her day was, and she'd respond with same chaos, different meeting. No details. No warmth. That thin ice message came after I asked if she wanted to do dinner at home or go out. She said she had plans with coworkers. When I asked who, she said the usual team. And when I pressed a little, she shot back that I was being clingy. That was new. Mara worked in HR for a mid-sized marketing firm, which made me laugh when we first met. She was the woman who investigated everyone else's drama, the professional secret keeper. She used to tell me stories about awkward workplace crushes, petty office politics. She'd always say, "People are messy, but I'm good at keeping it clean." I believed her. Until I couldn't. A week after that text, she came home late. Her hair was slightly messy, and she had that faint smell of someone else's cologne. Expensive, woody, not mine. I didn't say anything. I told myself I was imagining it, that maybe someone hugged her goodbye at work, that perfume and cologne linger. She noticed me looking at her coat and asked, "What?" Too quickly, like she already knew. "You smell different," I said. She laughed. "God, you're paranoid. One of my coworkers sprayed some sample crap from her purse earlier." I nodded, but something in me didn't buy it. It wasn't just the smell. It was the way she avoided my eyes when she said it. How she immediately grabbed her phone and started scrolling like she needed something to anchor her. That night I couldn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling, the sound of her steady breathing next to me almost mocking. My mind kept circling the same thought. Who was she texting when she turned her phone face down every time I walked by? The next morning I did something I'm not proud of. While she was in the shower, I checked her phone. It was locked and she'd changed her passcode. That, more than anything, hit me like a gut punch. She'd never hidden anything from me before. I stood there in our bedroom holding her phone, listening to the sound of running water, and I swear I could feel the foundation of our marriage cracking. When she came out wrapped in a towel, she saw me standing there and froze. "Did you just try to unlock my phone?" she asked, eyes narrowing. "I wanted to see the time," I lied. She snatched it from me, her face flushed. "Jesus, Liam. What's wrong with you lately? You're acting like some jealous teenager." I could have told her the truth then, that I felt her slipping away, that I was scared. But I didn't. I just said, "I'm sorry," and watched her retreat into silence for the rest of the morning. Days turned into weeks, and whatever was left of our closeness started rotting quietly. She was always working late, always on edge when I asked simple questions. Then one night, while she was asleep, her phone buzzed with a notification that lit up the screen. Just one word, "Thanks," from a contact named Jay. I didn't open it, I couldn't. But that Jay haunted me. It could have been anyone. It could have been nothing. Except it didn't feel like nothing. The next day, I took an early lunch and drove to her office. I told myself it was a surprise visit, bring her favorite coffee, maybe clear the air. But when I got there, she wasn't at her desk. Her coworker, a soft-spoken woman named Rena, looked startled to see me. "Oh, Mara stepped out for lunch. With Jason, I think." "Jason? Jay." I thanked her and walked out, my hands shaking so badly I nearly dropped the coffee. I sat in my car outside a nearby cafe, and sure enough, 10 minutes later, I saw them, Mara and Jason, walking out together. Laughing. Close. Too close. His hand brushed her lower back as they stepped off the curb, and she didn't move away. She looked happy. I didn't confront them. I couldn't. I drove home in a fog, my heart hammering so hard I thought I'd crash. When she got home that evening, she acted like nothing happened. She kissed me on the cheek, asked if I wanted takeout. I played along, but inside I was unraveling. Over the next few days, I started noticing more things. The way she smiled at her phone, the way she wore perfume on nights she claimed she was just catching up on reports, the way she called me hon less and yeah more. And then the HR investigation happened. It started with an email she got late one night. I was sitting beside her on the couch when it popped up. Subject line confidential. Inquiry regarding conduct. She went pale instantly, closed her laptop, and mumbled something about a misunderstanding. What kind of misunderstanding? I asked. Nothing. It's just some office rumor. I'll handle it. But she didn't handle it. Over the next week she was a mess. Snapping at me, crying in the shower, avoiding calls. I finally found out what happened from her coworker Rena, who called our home by mistake looking for her. Apparently, HR had received an anonymous complaint about Mara and Jason, accusations of an inappropriate relationship between a supervisor and a subordinate. Mara wasn't just working with Jason. She was his manager. When she got home that night, I confronted her. I told her I knew about the investigation. She tried to deny it at first, but I could see the defeat in her eyes. Liam, she said, her voice trembling. It wasn't supposed to happen. I didn't mean to fall for him. I remember standing there in our living room, the walls closing in around me, trying to process the words fall for him. Did you love him? I asked. She hesitated. I thought I might. That hesitation broke something in me that will never heal. She tried to explain how lonely she'd felt, how routine our life had become, how Jason made her feel seen again. I wanted to scream that I saw her every damn day, that I'd been there through everything. But what came out instead was a whisper. You ruined us for him? She cried. I didn't. I felt too hollow for tears. The investigation ended 2 weeks later. Jason was fired for breaching company policy. Mara was placed on leave pending further review. She spent those weeks sitting on our couch, drinking wine, staring at her phone like it held her future. I spent them sleeping in the guest room, trying to convince myself there was still something worth saving. When HR officially terminated her, she just nodded quietly, as if she'd been expecting it. The irony wasn't lost on either of us. The woman who once enforced the rules was now destroyed by them. A few days later, she packed a bag. She said she was going to stay with her sister for a while. I didn't stop her. There was nothing left to say. Before she left, she looked at me and said, I really did love you, you know. I nodded. Yeah, I know. Once. I watched her drive away, and for the first time in months I didn't feel anger or jealousy. Just exhaustion. People think betrayal is about someone choosing another person over you. But it's not. It's about watching someone you thought you knew turn into a stranger, and realizing you can't even hate them, because part of you still remembers who they used to be. That's the cruelest part of love. It doesn't end cleanly. It fades, dragging pieces of you with it. And sometimes the ice you thought you were standing on wasn't yours to break. It was hers all along.